Very good afternoon, sir. Thanks for letting us to meet probably generation of entrepreneurs, and it's very happy to just meet you three together here. And we're also fortunate to talk to your father, and then we will be covering him also. So we want to start off, sir. We want to start off by just asking you, the senior most of the person in the dais. So life before Pallava Group, when you're growing up, probably you would have grown up in a textile industry person. So tell us a little about your childhood and your teenage.
See, I think it's okay to speak in Tamil.
Please, sir. Whatever is comfortable. நீங்க எந்த லாங்குவேஜ் வந்தாலும் நான் அந்த லாங்குவேஜ் சொல்றேன்.
I mean, தமிழ்ல எதிர்பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் சிரமம் ஆயிடும்.
Give me English, sir. Whatever is comfortable, sir.
நாங்கள் பேசிக்காக வந்து ஜாயிண்ட் ஃபேமிலி தான். அப்பா, பெரியப்பா, மாமா எல்லாருமே நாங்கள் வந்து ஆரம்பத்துலேருந்து ஒட்டுக்காகவே இருந்தோம். என்னோடய சைல்ட்ஹுட்டுன்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா நான், அண்ணன், அக்கா நாங்கள்லாம் ரொம்ப க்ளோஸாக இருந்தோம். இனிஷியலாக எனக்கு வந்து அம்மானால் சொல்லி கொடுக்க முடியல. அதனால் வந்து நான் வந்து ஒரு லார்ஜ் டைம் வந்து ஐ ஸ்பெண்ட் இன் ஹாஸ்டல். தென் ஐ கேம் பேக். ஒரு 10th வரைக்கும் ஹாஸ்டல் இருந்தேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் தென் ஐ கேம் பேக். These youngsters were fortunate enough to have their moms teach them in English, so they were all day scholars, so I was in hostel.
Right.
But I think I'm fortunate to be in this family with my elders, guiding us, in every walk of our life. So.
Right. Tell us about the location, sir, where it is all started for a family and you growing up in this very own place. Little about.
See, I think my அப்பா, பெரியப்பா, மாமா இவங்க எல்லாமே வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இனிஷியலாக அவங்களோட யங் ஏஜில் வந்து they were all working for somebody. அவங்க வந்து ஒரு அப்போ இங்கே வந்து ஹேண்ட்லூம்ஸ் வந்து பாப்புலர். ஸோ பெரியப்பா அவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து முதல்ல ஹேண்ட்லூம்ஸில் அவங்க ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் அவங்க ஸ்லோலி அவங்க வந்து மூவ் டு பவர் லூம்ஸ். அப்புறம் ஒரு காலகட்டத்துக்கு அப்புறம் அவங்க வந்து சரி சொந்தமாக தொழில் ஆரம்பிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க வந்து ஐ திங்க் 1976 ஸோ தே ஸ்டார்டட் ஆஃப் தேர் ஒன். அவங்க ஆர் பொங்கியன் அக்கௌண்ட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அவர் வெரி ஃபேமஸ் பர்சனாலிட்டி இன் திஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் த ரீஜன். ஸோ அவர் வந்து சரி நீங்கள் வேணால் நீங்களே தொழில் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஹெல்ப் தம் start.
Sure.
So then the journey started. Then pathina in 1989 they established their business, and then they were fortunate to form a company with their own boss.
Right.
And then we started spinning. Adukku munnala vandu we were only in weaving.
Sure.
Then we started spinning in 1989. And then we were doing spinning as a group. Actually, அப்போ 4 பார்ட்னர்ஸ் சேர்ந்து ஆரம்பித்தாங்க. என்ன பியூட்டி ஆஃப் திஸ் கிளஸ்டர்னா, எஸ்பெஷலி இன் தேர் ஏர்லி ஆண்டர்ப்ரனர்ஷிப் இதில் பீப்புள் கம் டுகெதர் டு டூ பிஸ்னஸ். அது வந்து தனியாக போராடுறத விட வந்து ஒரு குரூப்பாக வந்து பண்ணணும்னா அதுக்குண்டான ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தே வேறு அப்படிங்கிறத முதல்ல ரியலைஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு 3 பேர் 4 பேர் ஆர் சம்டைம்ஸ் ஈவன் 5 பேர்லாம் கூட வந்து இன்னைக்கு ஒரு பெரிய பிஸ்னஸை இந்த கிளஸ்டரில் க்ரியேட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ ஐ ஹேவ் டு பி வெரி ப்ரவுட் ஆஃப் தட். ஸோ அன்னைக்கு வந்து ஒரு 4 பேர் அன்னைக்கு, ஏன்னா இதெல்லாம் கேபிட்டல் இன்டென்சிவான ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ்ஸு. ஸோ அதனால் வந்து ஒரு 4 பேர் வந்து வரும்போது ஒரு பிஸ்னஸை ஈஸியாக க்ரியேட் பண்ண முடியுது. லாட் ஆஃப் ஐடியாஸ் கம்ஸ் இன். தி ஆப்ஷன் டு மேக் மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் ஆர் லெஸ். ஏன்னா இப்போ ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவல் பர்சனாக இருந்தால் தேர் திங்கிங் குட் பி சம்டைம்ஸ் ரைட், சம்டைம்ஸ் ராங். பட் வென் யூ ஹேவ் அ கலெக்டிவ் டெசிஷன், there's hardly any chance to make mistakes.
Right.
So that has been one of the strength of this cluster.
Right. Right.
அப்படின்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
சரி.
So that helped our group as well.
Right.
So 1989ல வந்து 4 பேர் சேர்ந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் நல்லா போச்சு. In 2007ல ஆக்சுவலாக நிறைய அவங்க எக்ஸ்டெண்டட் ஃபேமிலிஸ் எல்லாம் வந்துட்டாங்க. ஸோ தென் we thought that it is a time to have businesses of their own.
Sure.
So we all split amicably. I mean we split into 2 groups. Then
Sure.
Still appa mama
Right.
பெரியப்பா எல்லாம் ஒட்டுக்காதான் இன்னும் ஒட்டுக்காதான் இருக்கோம்.
Fine. Fine.
And business is thank God is going
Excellent.
very well.
Excellent. At what age that you have come in as a full-time person inside the company, sir?
I came into business when I was 26.
Right, sir.
So
2000s.
in 2000.
Right.
So I've been in see, although full time at 2000 la vandano,
Sure.
since we are all business families, I mean we all knew nothing but business.
Sure.
So எப்பவுமே I was always part of the business, although
Right.
ஆக்டிவா இல்லைனாலும்
Right.
என்ன நடக்குது என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத வந்து
Right.
நான் தெரிஞ்சுட்டே இருப்பேன்.
Right.
ஐ திங்க் எங்கள் யங்ஸ்டர்ஸும் அப்படிதான். ஸோ
Right.
வந்து அவங்க வந்து படித்தாலும் அவங்க பிஸ்னஸ் என்ன நடக்குதுங்கிற அப்டேட் நாங்களும்
Nice.
கொடுப்போம். அவங்களும்
Nice.
தெரிஞ்சுக்குவாங்க ஆர்வமாக.
Nice.
ஸோ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நாங்கள் 3 பேருமே டெக்ஸ்டைல் கிராஜுவேட் இன்ஜினியர்ஸ்.
Excellent. Excellent.
So,
Okay. You brought in
yeah.
right.
ஸோ அது வந்து ஏன்னா ஏர்லி ஸ்டேஜில் அந்த ஒரு டெக்ஸ்டைல் ஸ்கில்லுங்கிறது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்னு ஃபீல் பண்ணி
சரி.
parents also advised. So
Right.
we all 3 of us took textile as a
Right.
degree, and then we did it.
Okay.
So
So after you have come into the full operation or maybe full time business school, நீங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, how did you see the changing landscape of this business?
I think at the time the business was okay. There was challenges, but
Sure.
there was a lot of opportunities. இப்போ நாங்கள் இருக்கிற பிஸ்னஸ் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா we are in a different cluster.
Sure.
Meaning we are into non-cotton. India predominantly நீங்கள் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா it's more of cotton.
Okay.
But we were into one segment called viscose.
சரி.
ஸோ அது வந்து அவ்வளோ பெரிய மார்க்கெட் சைஸ்ன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது.
சரி.
அது வந்து அப்ராடில் வந்து அதுக்கு டிமாண்ட் ஜாஸ்தி. ஸோ அதில் நாங்கள் வந்து we were concentrating more on exports. So
Okay.
and the business also grew. But ஒரு டைமில் வந்து தென் அங்கே யூரோப்லேயே ஆகட்டும் யூஎஸ்லேயே ஆகட்டும் தென் there was அந்த பிஸ்னஸ் வந்து குறைய ஆரம்பிச்சது. தென் வி தாட் ஓகே நம்ம ஏன் டொமஸ்டிக் மார்க்கெட்டை ஏன் கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தென் வி ஸ்டார்டட் கான்சன்ட்ரேட்டிங் இன் டொமஸ்டிக்.
Right.
And fortunately this also picked up, and then this market is now also doing good.
Okay. In the last near about 2 decades of your coming into the company, you would have brought in a lot of your techniques and updates, which is again from your learnings in the industry, and also you would have traveled and all those things. So how that played a role, sir, in moving the industry from what it was as for the growth, or to position ourselves as an industry player under the concentration?
சார் அதாவது எங்கள் கம்பெனியில் என்னென்னா we like to experiment.
Right.
Whether it's technology or process or anything. We are blessed with a lot of excellent people within our organization. We have people who are with us for more than 25 years.
Right.
Who came as at a supervisor level, but now they are heading business.
Right.
அது மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க இருக்காங்க.
Right.
And so we are more innovative, and then we like to experiment. So அதனால we took up a lot of new technology into
Right.
the business.
Right.
In terms of process.
Okay.
In terms of methods. So that actually helped us. So today you can say we are one of the largest in air vortex spinning. So
right.
yeah,
right.
so that is adu vandu many people were afraid of experimenting, but we did experiment. Sometimes we also failed,
right. Right.
but that's a learning that we had. But you know, so
we're able to take it up positively.
Yes.
But when the second generation is coming in and then proposing a new idea or a change in a methodology, there's always a little bit of a convincing or probably a deliberation which happens between the old gen and the new gen, where it could be even in a time where நீங்கள் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க சொல்கிறத கேட்குற மாதிரி ஒரு சினாரியோ ஆகிடும். ஸோ நீங்கள் சொல்கிறத வச்சு பார்க்கும்போது தே ஹவ் கிவன் யூ தட் ஸ்பேஸ். ஏன்னா எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட்ன்ற வார்த்தையிலேயே வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த ஸ்பேஸ் இருந்தால் தான் நீங்கள் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்க முடியும். ஸோ ஹவு டிட் யூ மேனேஜ் தட் சார்?
Sometimes it takes a little bit of convincing.
Sure.
But when you have your logic right, our elders never stopped us in doing anything.
Right.
So the youngsters avadidan. So for any business, we should experiment, we should take risk, but not at the cost of the existing business. So this was our philosophy. So we never went overboard with anything and trying to disrupt the existing business. So we were very careful on that. Adum elders வந்து ஏனா அவங்க வந்து they've been guiding us, they had lot of experience to
guide and teach you.
To guide and teach us.
Right.
So adula vandu we took their advice, then we engaloda thoughts combine panni.
Okay. Nice sir. So coming into the probably at the fresh journey, both of you are here for about 5-6 years. I've been to Mariana Exchange. This is what we had. So உங்களுடைய அனுபவங்கள், like meaning I could take some cues that நீங்கள் வந்து from the childhood you were exposed to all these things அப்படின்றது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா I could take it from sir. So when you came in, like maybe sir 2 decades முன்னாடி வரும்போது the landscape was changing, but when you both were coming in, the landscape is even changing at a rapid speed. So what was your perspective when you came into the industry? I'll start with you.
When we came in 2012, our company was split up 5 years back, and we were introducing a lot of new products.
Right.
So at the beginning of our journey, we went to the mill side and we learned the process. What are the products we are doing? How is the process done?
Right.
Everything we learned for 1 or 2 years. We were in the mill itself.
Right.
Then we came into the office and learn all the commercial parts.
Right.
Then Murali is taking care of marketing. I am looking after production now.
Okay. Oh, that's a very interesting perspective. Now, I'm a marketing man myself, so I'm curious to know about your role in the company and how are you enjoying it?
We both started at the same time.
Right.
And I did the initial induction at the mills, and as he said, since college we have been more closely engaged with the with the customers. I used to receive customers in family. I started in Coimbatore, so
nice.
Customer comes, I used to I had a chance to be with them, receive them, and bring them back here, and then be with them always, and then see what I try to get what are they looking for in this cluster, and so that helped me in the initial stages. And once here I'm on full time. So our agenda is be close with the customer, get whatever they wanted. This is what we believed in.
Okay. So there are a lot of fancy options available for youngsters today within the scope of what curriculum and education takes us. Very glad and fortunate to see the third generation coming into the business. But tell us about your interests. You should have this in top of your minds, because both of you studied again textiles, is what you said. So how did that shape up?
We took textile voluntarily only. We took that.
Oh, nice.
From our childhood itself, it's our dream to be a part of company and to grow this company.
Right.
So it's our blood itself.
Okay.
They pretty much didn't have an option.
Option. Okay, nice. Okay, so both of it were complementing each other. They had a conscious choice and
They were groomed to be
right.
in the textile space.
Right.
I mean, like when you tell your children, okay, this is how you dream to be.
Right.
Then they build that as their own dream, and then they grow up with even a larger dream.
Right.
And then that helps the family actually.
Absolutely.
Because, family-owned business are very important to have the family members actively participate. More important is to collaborate. That is so that way we have the entire family people working towards
right.
one common goal of taking this company to a great heights.
Right. It also just falls as a responsibility to the predecessors to just motivate the younger ones to just come on board. And it's also, you have to see the forecast of the future, and then you're going to have the next gen coming into this and all the things. So how did you saw the future of the industry and how it is now?
See, we all know today technology is actually driving all business, and we need to have fresh ideas into the business so that we are ready for any change, because change is the only constant thing. So, and youngsters, they come in, they share their ideas, and then and the whoever the previous generation or the elders, they take things positively, and then they also let them experiment and then try out new things, and then
right.
that has only helped a lot of the companies today to grow beyond a second or third generation.
Right. Right.
So I think that is very, very important.
And you were always, as a group, were very pioneer in, as you said, of experimenting new things and just producing new products. Maybe that is in the DNA of the company itself. But is it all based on the emerging needs, or you yourself develop new R&D ideas yourself to just the comparison between Apple and Android, I'm trying to understand how this experimenting process began and what confidence it takes a company to take that route.
See, do something great, you have to have a vision. You have to foresee certain things, what could be the future.
Right.
Because if you are running after just tomorrow, then you will be only reaching tomorrow. But when you look at a day after tomorrow, maybe the next month or even the next year,
right,
then that can guide you. Maybe it may not be accurate, but at least it can throw some light on where you need to go or where you need to focus. So that's what we did.
Right.
We looked at various other options in terms of technology that we could use, and then we thought, okay, this technology could will work for us. We also chose sometimes we chose something that didn't work.
Right.
Okay, that's okay.
Right.
But,
So you take that move. But when you say about technology comes with a cost to the company, and it's a capital heavy industry that we are in. To implement anything of the size in which you're operating, which needs a heavy cost involved. So how did you do your math to get that right?
Basically, you look at your payback, and if the investment is will give you enough returns.
Right.
And you see sometimes certain products may not even get accepted immediately, but you have to work hard. You have to actually push sometimes. So that also helps.
Right.
So in certain cases we had to there were markets which were ready to take, but then there were certain markets where we had to push.
Right.
So that actually helps to
Right. And tell us about your experience in managing your vendors, your buyers, and also by and large, there is a lot of people in the ecosystem, in the supply chain of your company. So that should also be a handy strength to drive an organization of this scale. How did you build that ecosystem?
See, I mean, this is something that we learned from our elders. Yeah. These values we get from our elders. So basically, our principles are very, very simple. Being very honest and simple and being empathetic is I would say, are the values that we learned from our elders.
Right.
But then, as you grow, we feel that there are two important things that will really help in any business. One is, the trust of your, whether it's your employees or your suppliers or your customers, and the confidence that you can, build within the ecosystem.
Right.
So we believe in these things, and then whatever we do, with our customers or our people within the organization, or our suppliers.
Right.
These were the two important things that we focused with them.
Right. So it was a strength in retaining and also just growing with them. Right. Looking at the current plans of the company, what are the products? Help us understand about the sort of products and the markets that you are in.
See, we are still in the beginning part of the supply chain. We are basically doing spinning and weaving and then knitting. Of course, we are still not in the processing stage, but these products are not so common with the. It's not used to be so common, but now the products that we do, like viscose, modal, lyocell, is getting more and more popular. So this is driving our business.
Right. And what markets are we focusing on?
Predominantly now we are more into domestic than exports.
Right.
So our customers would be like exporters or process house who buy our either yarns or fabrics, and then they value add, and then it goes to the retail chains.
Right.
We are also nominated by a lot of the retail chains or brands both in India as well as abroad.
Right. So as a preferred source.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So at this time, looking at from 2018, looking at from an industry expert's point of view, we have to also factor in what is happening across the globe, the sort of competition that we are having from bigger markets like China, or the smaller markets like Bangladesh, Cambodia, Pakistan and Turkey and all the matter. So how do you see that changing the landscape of our industry here?
So, I mean, the good thing is that, India as a domestic market is growing. We have a lot of potential within the Indian market. But then we will also have to be aware that we will have competition from, other low-cost countries, like, other countries that you mentioned. So, like Bangladesh, we have a lot of apparel that has started coming in. We have to be competitive. We have no other way, and we have to build an ecosystem that can really make us competitive. And only the government can help us, with creating an environment, ecosystem where we build on our strengths.
Right.
So that should be very, very important.
Right. Looking at the forecast of the market, so going forward, the 5-year plan or 10-year plan of the company, or probably how you see the industry evolving. Your thoughts as an industry leader on that?
See, I mean, textile, the industry is going to be doing very well, in my opinion.
Right.
Because we are one of the economies where the per capita textile consumption is not the highest.
Right.
We are about 6 to 7 kg per person, whereas developed economy like Europe or US, they are about 23-24 kg per person. So we have a lot of room to grow. So that way we see a lot of opportunity within the Indian textile space. But at the same time, I'm sure we will have we won't have it so easy, but we'll have to work hard.
Right. Your thoughts on the cluster here as a part of textile industry, just not as a company. Definitely, there is a lot of activity which is going on in our clusters, and your thoughts and views on that, and about probably your suggestions for them to just see better things or probably grow things. Your views and advice for them.
See, like I said, this Kongu, Kongu belt is actually is very entrepreneurial, and they come together very very easily to achieve great things. So there's a lot of industries that are coming in, and Text Valley, I think, is an excellent concept to reach out to customers, whether they are a retailer or a wholesaler. I think this model will work very well. So for the future also, I think we need something similar in all the textile clusters to maximize the cluster's potential.
Right. And your thoughts to the youngsters, the younger generation of the entire clusters, to energize them, or probably to just pat on their shoulders that okay, come on, we have to reshape what is the legacy built from our predecessors, or probably the people of this region. Like what is something that you would like to share for people of your age and people who wanted to come into the industry?
We suggest that you should not be afraid of the failures.
Great.
Investors can take a full decision and ready not to jeopardize the existing business, but they can be there to take a bold step and forward.
Okay. How informed are they, do you think, from your perspective, the current generation?
Now everybody is traveling around the globe, and they're all located. So
do you think anything is stopping them by just to put their efforts? Are they taking it a little lighter than the previous generations? Meaning the work hard and this work smart sort of a mentality getting into them. Not by and large, but just as a thought, you would have had a lot of your friends and colleagues studying the textile cluster, and also you would have seen your friends within the industry, meaning it's a family thing, an extended family thing. Do you think they are taking it any lighter, or?
No, I don't see that. This is even more shorter than next generation, previous generation, and now they started interacting with the younger generations. Earlier, I used to interact with my customers. Now the interaction started within the next generation, so it makes it more easier to connect more faster. So they are also very aggressive, and everybody wants to be the best in their fields.
Okay. So from your perspective, the fresh perspective, how do you see this evolving, this industry evolving, and the local market landscape changing? Do you have any? Are you seeing any dynamic things, new things coming in the very next future?
Yeah, technologies will be coming. The new technologies will be evolving.
Right.
We should be prepared for that. And also, as technology grows, the quality part also it's moreover common. Everyone can produce the same quality as the technology improves. So we should be a little bit more different from the others. The growing technology. So we should think over it.
Excellent. Sir, and finally your thoughts on the event Weaves. You touched upon Text Valley and what Text Valley will contribute for the industry by and large. Now we are organizing this big event, and how do you see this event, and who should actually try to get most benefit out of this event?
See, I think it's, I have to thank Textile for organizing such a mega event. I think this is one of the first to happen around Erode.
Right.
So that's, we have to be very proud of that.
Right.
And as a concept, Textile is, is doing extremely well, connecting, the suppliers and the customers, be it the, retailers or the wholesalers.
Right.
So now bringing more people or bringing the supply chain from even the other parts of the country like Ahmedabad, Surat, Jaipur, Bombay, Delhi, that is a phenomenal thing. So they will also have an opportunity to see what this market or this cluster can offer them. Whether if they want to buy or to sell. So this is an excellent platform in my opinion.
Great.
So I've also shared some of my thoughts to the management.
Right.
So
Right.
I wish them all success.
Great, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for all your time, and it is really insightful to just know a little more about what was behind the brand, and glad to see the next generation firing and the predecessors giving a lot of support. So it should be a lot of energy boost to all the people who are aspiring to know what's happening in a larger scale. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.